My ex-wife had an affair, so I lost my mind and had a fling with my mother-in-law for 8 days and she still has no idea. I have never been able to tell anyone I know about this, so I want to get it off my chest. I had been married to my wife for 2 years when my whole world came crashing down. One day she told me that her single mother had lost her job due to layoffs and asked if her mom could stay with us for a while. I was hesitant, but if that was my mom I would want the same. So my mother-in-law moved in and it was great having her around. I thought it was all going fine, but that clearly wasn't the case. A few weeks turned into 3 months, and soon enough my wife and mother-in-law started bickering with each other a lot. We had stopped having intimacy because she was on edge all the time, and she said she didn't feel comfortable having intimacy with her mom in the house. At about this same time, she started spending a lot more time out with friends and working longer hours. Or so I thought. This will come as no surprise to anyone listening because my wife was having an affair. How I found out about it was pretty awesome. A buddy had seen her with a guy out at a bar making out. He said they then got into an Uber together and left. When I refused to listen, he sent me a picture of them kissing in real time. Honestly, I just broke down right then and there. Hearing my sobs, my mother-in-law came downstairs and tried to ask what was wrong. Is everything okay? Oh my God. Did something happen to Jenny? I told her Jenny was fine and that I just needed some space before talking about it. When Jenny finally got home the next morning, all hell broke loose. I hadn't planned on confronting her when I saw her, but she demanded to know what was wrong when I couldn't look at her. Plus, she could tell I'd been crying and would not stop asking me. So I said, F it, and showed her the picture of her kissing another man. She looked like a ghost, started yelling that it wasn't her. It was, and we proceeded to drag each other through the mud in front of mother-in-law. Jenny blamed me, then she blamed her mom, and finally, she blamed COVID. At that point my mother-in-law got involved and began to argue with both of us. She took my side. Jenny packed a bag and told us both to go to hell. The next day she tells me she is staying with a friend for a while and that she needs some space. Yeah, I'm not stupid, so I didn't ask which friend, and that's what she did. We texted sporadically and she came by to get a few things after a few days, but it was just me and mother-in-law in the house most of the time. One night my mother-in-law and I were sitting on the sofa watching a movie. I had some bourbon, and she was drinking wine. I told her how hard it had been, and that's when she went to pat my thigh, but she didn't remove her hand and kept it there, lighting stroking my leg. By this point, it had been over a month since I'd had intimacy, I'm guessing longer for her, and it just happened. I looked up at her, she leaned in, and that was it. I knew it was so wrong, but I was so heartbroken that I just didn't care about anything anymore. I think I just became totally self-destructive and depressed. I had never been with a woman who was so intimately confident. She knew exactly what she wanted and we had amazing chemistry. We both talked about how guilty it made us feel, but that didn't stop us from going at it like newlyweds for the next 8 days. As horrible as it sounds, it was exactly the distraction I needed and it was something I looked forward to. At first, we slept in different beds just in case, but eventually I stayed in the extra bedroom with her. In hindsight, that was risky as hell, but I was a mess and probably didn't care as much as I should have. Now, you're not going to love this part. 2 weeks into our fling and Jenny called me. She wanted to talk, and against my better judgment, I agreed. She confessed to everything, but I did not. She apologized, cried, and begged, and in the end, I agreed to see a marriage counselor. She said she wanted to return home, which she did. That's when my mother-in-law moved out and went to live with a friend of hers in Florida, where she had gotten a job offer making more than her previous position. Jenny and I tried to make it work, but in the end, I knew that I couldn't get past the affair. I still love her now, but I could never trust her again, and that's no way to spend the next 50 years. It was just too much. I filed for divorce at the beginning of 2022, and considering all of the texts and the picture I had been sent of Jenny and her side piece, she agreed not to contest it, and we are now waiting for it to be finalized. I moved in with a buddy and my mother-in-law added me on Facebook last week. I'm not saying I'm going to go there anytime soon, but once this divorce is final, I'm also saying that I'm not going there again.